Good evening. You've now joined the December 2024 session of Recordando. And tonight, because I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, is themed Recordando que tenemos un programa hoy, esta noche a las ocho. You know. And I'd explained to Richard a few days ago by phone, I got a lot of ish going on with family illness and stuff to deal with, so I couldn't prioritize doing much more than I was able to do tonight. So I've gotten the Zoom link out. I promoted within the last 5 hours, and here you are sharing space with us to captivate one another with our original poetry and prose and other luminous literary works. So I'm happy to hear anything. It doesn't have to relate to anything related to that title I haphazardly threw together 4 hours ago.
I had to translate it. I was like, remember, we have
Yeah,
a reading tonight
what
at
was
8.
the what was the typo? I forgot. I read it, but
Recordando que
Translate it.
tenemos un programa hoy a las ocho. Remembering that we have a program tonight at 8 o'clock.
oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Poetry reading.
I was already on the road before I saw your emails.
It's
And you're
just so
still here.
meta. So meta of you.
I'm like, I can't think. Oh yeah, that's what I'm remembering. I'm remembering that tonight's the night. It was on my calendar. It's been on my calendar all week, my kitchen wall calendar. And I'm here. So, who's got some work to share or literary stuffs to lay on us?
Well, I don't have any literary stuff, but I have some thoughts that may eventually get written into some form about the solstice. Um, we we are here in the winter solstice. Lorraine, where are you exactly again? You're in the southern part, right? So you're
Barely in the southern part.
so
Still
okay.
get a summer solstice.
Yeah,
She's doing
equatorial
somersaults.
solstice.
Kapaka Raimi.
Oh
It was
wow.
it was at 1:20 this morning, West Coast time, which meant it was at
Oh, okay.
3:20.
4:20 our time.
Yeah.
So the shortest night was last night.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
No, the
was.
longest night was
I
last
mean,
night.
yeah, right, but you know what I
Oh,
mean.
it's not tonight?
No,
Oh,
it was at
No.
1:20 this morning. Or
okay.
3:20 your time.
Thank you.
Oh,
I was gonna look that up and I didn't get it done.
There's a reason I know the exact time, but go ahead, Jeffrey. I'll tell later.
And I I had all these offers from different organizations to participate in solstice ceremonies of various sorts, and I signed up for one by the science and non-duality people, SAND.
Sorry
And
for the funny acronym.
yeah, and the two people who um, led it were Francis Weller, who wrote the book "The Wild Edge of Sorrow," that one that I've found to be really valuable in the last couple of years with all the grief that I've been going through. um, and the other person was somebody new to me, Pat McCabe. Also, her Dine name is Woman Stands Shining. Um, and and they did a solstice ritual. She did it from her indigenous tradition, and Francis did it from the his perspective of working with people on grief. And there's a lot of really powerful stuff in it. But the one that I've been sort of thinking about and wanting to write something about is um, the suggestion that I mean, here, the winter solstice is the longest night. And most of the emphasis is usually on looking forward to more and more light. And what they were saying is, let's slow it down a little bit. Let's get in touch with what it means to stay in the long night. Because looking around the world, we are just entering the long night that some of us, me for example, don't expect to necessarily see the end of. Um, this isn't going to be a quick fix. Um, we shouldn't turn immediately to the light, to the overcoming the darkness. We should instead dwell in the darkness for a while. And what Pat McCabe was saying is that from that our Western tradition is to, okay, let's look for the new story. And she says, maybe we need to return to the old stories and tell the old stories in new ways so that we can avoid the darkness that has been gathering around us. Um, and not just in the United States, but in a lot of countries in the world, there's a lot of darkness right now. And maybe we need to go back before patriarchy, before capitalism, before all of those isms, and find stories that help us to explore our oneness with nature, to help us explore our being part of uh, um, something that you can't set subject objects and say that we don't have to worry about the over there because that's part of us too. Um, so anyway, I'm like I said, I've only been thinking about this for a couple of hours and I haven't gotten it into words that make sense yet, but something along those lines, you know, maybe seeing part of my purpose in going forward is to help people experience their oneness with nature, help people experience their uh, entanglement um, with other beings. So that's my thoughts. End thought.
I was driving from my mother's house today. This is my way of saying thank you to you, Jeffrey, for what you've just shared. Driving from my mother's house, with her holiday mail and her hair blower, because she asked for those things. And on the radio came up a Weezer song, "Island in the Sun," and I don't know if you know the lyrics. It's a kind of indie pop song. I enjoy it. And it made me feel very nostalgic, very sad, wistful, and I began crying. And I was flooded with all of the memories of all of the twisted Christmases that I've had to deal with, running around in my mom's car, fixing things, providing service. And they all came in a big flood in my mind. Um, and it wasn't about, oh, damn, we didn't get to have our stockings exchanged. We didn't get to eat strudel and yams or whatever. It wasn't that. It was like, wow, look at me always in this role
Yeah.
of serving and doing without and having to be okay with not having what other people might have. Even as I am mortified and really sickened by US capitalist experiences of Christmas and all the demand and the requirement that we all take it to the hilt every year. I felt a little weary of like always being in the role. So 1980s, late 80s, my mom had a boyfriend who was from Central America, and she opted to go with him to El Salvador for Christmas and decided it would be a great idea to drive down there.
Hmm.
And she didn't know anything about the Civil War. She didn't know anything about the violence and the guerrillas, the guerrillas. And they were, yeah, they met up with a lot of challenges and they were in very high risk situations. She could have been murdered. And she had this feisty, kind of first world attitude, even though she's Chicana, even as she is Chicana. She had to grow up real fast and realize she was in a really, politically fraught uh, nation, and she should just behave herself and shut up, which she's not always used to doing, especially on demand. Um, so I was the person she phoned from El Salvador one day and told me how sick she'd been with, um, like drinking bad water and that. But she also talked about the guerrillas and the threats, the real threats there. And she said, if I'm not back by such and such a date, this is the village where you need to come find my body. And at the same time, she said, don't tell anybody this is happening. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell your brother, your sister. Don't tell anybody. Yeah. And so I didn't tell her that my brother had just been hit head on uh, by a samurai jeep going like 50 miles an hour or 40. He was decelerating, so maybe he was going 40. Yeah, head on. My brother's skull, the outline of his skull was in the windshield of that jeep. Um, and I didn't tell her that. So I'm the keeper of the stuff and protecting people from full on onslaught of information. Oh, but now it's recorded, so damn it. If anybody find this video.
But you can edit it out.
Oh, of course. Thank you. So that's the thing to weep about is those of us who carry the water and bring some semblance of stability and balance to a community, a neighborhood, a group, a family home, a nursing home, a hospital ward, a, a mental health ward, a dead zone in Gaza, you know, and a lot of that work is thankless work, but it's heavy and sometimes it could be cyclical. And in my case, for me, it's cyclical. And so, Jeffrey, this is my long thank you to you. Still, I want to stay in the space of remembering what this means, the value that it brings to me in my life, to be that server who provides the vessel to hold the stuff to be the caretaker of the gloom, the memory of the gloom, and also to know that there's light eventually. I don't want to run away from the gloom because there's knowledge and there's learning in that.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things Francis Weller said was we need to balance gratitude and grief. That if we just focus on gratitude, we lose track of reality. um, but if we just focus on the grief, it'll end up burying us. And we need to have some ability to experience the gratitude side of things also. So, yeah, it, it takes balance.
My nephew's been involved receiving services from a nonprofit called The Warm Place, and The Warm Place here in Fort Worth serves young children between the ages of 5 and 18 who've lost a family member. So we've been involved with that nonprofit for about a year, and it's really great. There's a lot of the peer counseling is what's most valuable to my nephew because he gets to sit with other teenagers who've lost a parent, and he gets to talk with them. He gets to socialize with them. So when we met last Tuesday, they handed out this sheet of paper. I'm just gonna read. It's like there's like 10 of these. I'm just gonna read like three, and maybe I'll read three later. The Grievers Holiday Bill of Rights, and I'll just read the first three. You have a right to say time out anytime you need to do so. Time out to let up, blow off some steam, step away from the holiday, huddle, and start over. You have a right to tell it like it is. When people ask, how are you? You have the right to tell them how you really feel, not just what they want to hear. And this one I really love because I practice this constantly at most of the holidays. You have a right to do things differently. There's no law that says you must always do Christmas or other holidays the same way. You can do 10 cards instead of 100, or you can do no cards at all. You can open presents at somebody else's house. You can do without a tree. You can have pizza instead of turkey. The list is endless. Um, I've eaten meals by myself on big holidays. I've taken a bus to the border. I went to Laredo on Christmas Eve, and then I kind of had a little mental freak out, like, why am I here? I'm by myself. It's middle of the night. I don't want to do this. Spent the night in the Greyhound station at Laredo and took the next bus back to Austin. So, and then I didn't tell anybody in Austin that I was back. So I was like very, I had solitude, and
Mm-hmm.
I popped popcorn, strung it, put it out on a tree for the birds, and that was my Christmas day by myself, and it was glorious. And then I went to Hole in the Wall, that club on Guadalupe, for the punk rock karaoke, and that was a blast. And I drank whiskey with eggnog, which actually is pretty good.
Mm.
So yeah, do the holidays your way. No apology. What you got there, Jeffrey?
Whiskey and eggnog.
What? I'm coming over to your house later. I have this is
I want some now.
a little belated, but welcome, Stalina.
Thank you. I saw the invite like 5 minutes ago. I was like, oh, I gotta see Tammy.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to see you here. Yeah, it's a sweet and small little gathering we have, but it's always heartfelt and so replenishing. It's been a real challenging week, Stelina, because my mother had aneurysm surgery, and now instead of five aneurysms, she only has three in her head. So our family's been through a lot here in the last few days. So it's all good. She's doing great, and she's feisty and demanding and sweet, just like her usual self. So that's really great. Great news.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is good.
so anybody have a poem ready to roll out?
Yeah, I've got one.
Oh, please, Lorraine, go ahead.
The holidays coming up in a couple of days. This is called Sounds of Silence. These Christmas Eve streets echo with the mournful song of a blind man's accordion. These Christmas Eve streets, beneath the dim light of a waning crescent moon yet to be arisen. These Christmas Eve streets, echoing with the footfall of families going to Mass, announced by silent bells. The cry of a newborn, bathed in a manger in a parish church, bathed in the perfume of Palo Santo. The silence of footfalls upon centuries old wooden floors, the silence of prayers before the creche broken by a baby's cry. These Christmas Eve streets echoing with the silence of the departed blind accordion.
Sweet. Thank you.
Lorraine, are these things you noticed as you move among the crowd, or are you a sitter? Do you sit somewhere and then people
That
watch?
poem, I actually went out with a friend who's quite Catholic on Christmas Eve, and we decided to just take a look at the creches in the different churches and nativity scenes. And that was at one church,
Mm,
at one of the churches.
thank you.
Mhm.
I can read a poem.
Okay, go ahead, Stelina. Thank you.
So I recently came out as trans,
Mm-hmm.
and in my book I do have I wrote a book about Latinx art, and in my book I have several poems about artwork by trans artists, and so this is one of them. A photographic progression of the self. Isaac Reyes' self-portrait cropped, cabeza volteada to profile, looking away. Self-portrait sideways with sticks, plumas e hilo en el fondo. Self-portrait of a face, hands, and arms, desapareciendo into a grainy green background. Self-portrait hanging from a tree, holding un paraguas con persona sentada on a bench below. Self-portrait of a bouquet wrapped around the neck. Autorretrato screaming with distorted lighting. Self-portrait as a piggyback hummingbird on leaves in a bedroom. Autorretrato in colorful flamboyant makeup. Self-portrait both in drag and cis. Autorretrato at the doorway of home.
Mm. That was a great last line, too.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
At the doorway of home. Wow, there's a lot in that.
What is the collection titled?
My book,
Yes, yes.
Wacha.
Yes, there it is. Watcha.
Oh,
Just came out
man.
earlier this year. That's a really intriguing cover.
Wow. Stelina, are you a Fort Worth person?
No, I'm a Houston person.
Yeah. Oh.
Um, and I did try to convince my press to take me to Dallas because
Dallas?
they're based in Dallas, but um,
No money?
they no, yeah, they said they were going to look into the finances, and then they never got back to me about that. So
Ooh.
doesn't sound good.
Cool.
I just posted the link for the book. Watcha was published by Deep Vellum in
Oh, thank you.
Dallas. Yeah. We have to protest, create a petition or something. I would love to follow that piece with a, let's see, where did I put it? Oh yeah, a piece that I wrote because I love work inspired by visual art. Why am I um blanking on the name of that form?
Ekphrastic.
Ekphrastic.
Yes, ekphrastic art, poetry. So I have written several poems, I guess you could, or responses to musical experiences, sonic influences. And what I want to share now, and I think I'm going to share my screen so you can see it, is a response to a song I really, really, really like by one of the members of Animal Collective, the band Animal Collective, and Tavi Air. I'm not sure how to say his name. He did a solo album, and there's a piece I love, which kind of honors cows and how to write about that piece, what it makes me feel. And I know I'm not the only one that feels things because I'm a big consumer of YouTube video comments. I think there's beautiful communities that pop up around YouTube videos, songs on YouTube. And so I think I found, one of my groups, one of my families in that comment section of that song. And I'll share the name of the song. It really doesn't matter what the song is. It's my response that I want y'all to get into. If I can share the screen, maybe. I don't know if I can. For some reason, I'm not getting that option anymore.
Really?
Yeah, really. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's this one. Time you had the flying saucer dish. How do I move y'all? Time you had the flying saucer dish that you took a chance on, one more time to add to the count of taking chances, when 15 means not worrying about losing, and I am across and slurping the sauce's sweet reply that provokes another laugh in a series. I stopped to giggle when I had added ed one time to goof, let's us be okay with wrong, no hard heads on soft egg Sundays. I am hearted by your water glass and soft quiet chewings. When is the time to talk about Italy? Later, I decide, striking a chord and knocking down candy corn. Later on the lawn, the park shows us babies in clown cuisine. The boy with brown bag candy, he wins all alone. I saw the mashed bug and eager ants near my bale, and I look away to not adorn it with explication. Not today, when the sweat is forlorning spines, but smiles grow slide anyway. What looks like happiness when ring toss and boy talk abounds the rounds of pretty sidewalks. Diane is such the elf of mirth and promises a journey to art. When the kid flourishes his own party, good, good, the ants, yes, I forgot. When the green hots gots my mouth and I wince with laughter, and he runs for apple juice, need the acid to diffuse the burn. Falling to the lawn is fine, fine, laugh now, and there's no blind gavel here. And the song, yeah, AV Tear, and the song is Saturdays. So in writing that piece, I'll say that it's like, when you take a piece of charcoal and you're drawing, and then you feel like the mark you made is a little too harsh, you want to soften it. And so how we do that with words is to inject a little of gibberish, what might seem like gibberish, but it's like softening the English, especially the heavy thud of an English word landing, how to soften that is to infuse a little bit of not complexity. It's not complexity. It's like murkiness, some gibberish, um, less, I don't know, less less thud English. Anyway, I just feel like that began slightly to approach what I feel about that song. So I'm happy to make another attempt later when I hear the song. And I'm trying not to listen to it too often because when I really love something, I try not to be with it too much, too often. And that includes people. So that's why I can't see y'all more than once a month because I
Yeah,
love
bye.
y'all. Bye. See ya. Thank you. Thank you. That was fun. Kensuke, who wants to read next?
I have something to share. I
On
think
the
I can do it,
on the
but
screen? Yeah, go for it.
well, it's audio, but I just looked up how to do it and I hope it'll work. But uh so I spent all week preparing my podcast, which I put up today. I don't know if you're still listening or not, Jeffrey. Have you heard the one today or anything? Um,
I fell behind. I was listening to the
that's okay.
last one, and I will listen to today's later.
No, you're going to listen to it right now
Oh, okay, that's all right.
because that's what I'm going to play for you. But it's not like me talking for 30 minutes, which is what a lot of them are. Um, and I was like, oh, I know I'm so busy, and I had work this week, by the way, and so a little bit of pay, but what can I do that won't take as much time? But then I was like, oh, I know, I really want to write a song for Solstice and sing a song. And so I'm like, oh, that won't be that much, right? But you know what? I spent so many hours this week, like recording various tracks and trying to make it sound sort of like music because I don't it's not something I do all the time. And, how to make my voice sound tolerable. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I wrote a solstice song and it is several minutes, and I hope that's okay. And I'm going to try to share it. I found it doesn't if it sounds like it's coming through your screen a little bit blaring, to turn your volume down until it evens it out. But I don't know. I found it starts quietly anyway. I liked it best with my headphones on though. So and not as much through my like regular speakers or my phone, which is, so. But let me see. It says if you go to share and you go to advanced and you can go to computer audio and I can share. This is just called Solstice Song, and technically it should come out of your speakers in a moment. Tell me yes if it does. Can you hear? Okay.
As we head into the dark, let us sing a song of. As we head into the dark, let us sing a song of fire. Let us sing of fire. As we head into the dark, let us sing a song of. As we head into the dark, let us sing a song of fire. Let us sing of fire. I just need to find a place where I can be. I just need to find a place where I can be. I just need to find a place where I can be. We just need to find a place where we can be real. Can we ever be real? As we head into the dark, let us sing a song of. As we head into the dark, let just need to find a place where we can be real. Will we ever be real? As we step into the light, let us sing a song of. As we step into the light, let us sing a song of shadow. Let us sing of shadow. As we step into the light, let us sing a song of. As we step into the light, let us sing a song of shadow. Let us sing of shadow. Just remember that we can always stand in. Just remember that we can always stand in. Please remember that you can always stand in. Let's remember that we can always stand in shadow. In the comfort of shadow. As we step into the light, let us sing a song of. As we step into the light, let us sing a song of shadow. Let us sing of shadow. Light the brightest fire, burn the hate away, cover up in dark, so we'll be together when we see the storm is coming. And the storm is coming. As we walk into the storm, let us sing a song of. As we walk into the storm, let us sing a song of stillness. Let us sing of stillness. As we walk into the storm, let us sing a song of. As we walk into the storm, let us sing a song of stillness. Let us sing of stillness. If our hearts are still, then we can weather. If our stance is still, then we can weather. If our minds are still, then we can weather. When ourselves are still, then we can weather what is to come. What's to come. If our hearts are still, we can weather. If our stance is still, if our minds are still, we can weather. When ourselves are still, we can weather what's stillness. What is to come. As we walk into the dark, let us sing a song of. As we walk into the dark, let us sing a song of shadows. Let us sing of fires. When the rain is done, burn the steam away. Let the roots take hold As the sky is clearing, you will see the next year will come. Next year will come. As we head into the dark, as we step into the light, as we walk into the storm, let us sing a song together. Let us sing together as we walk together, and we'll be together, and we'll be together, and we'll be together.
Okay.
Loved it.
I'm trying to figure out how to stop the share. Okay. Screens.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What a blessing.
Thank you.
Oh, I love how the themes just kind of evolve over the span of our time together. There's so much interconnectedness. I love it.
I was thinking when Jeffrey was talking, because when I was writing that this week, clearly it's sort of archetypical themes, but also I had a lot on my mind about, gosh, what's outside my window and the future and everything. And maybe I'm just still obsessively, compulsively, optimistic, but I just felt like I had to make a gift with it said, we can still come together, which I think was an old song. I also had to fight off what I think is a newly named tendency. I think I named it this week. I think I was fighting FOSH, FOSH, which is fear of sounding hippie.
Yeah, you mentioned that the other day on the phone.
But, but because But the thing is sometimes, because I'm an old punk, and sometimes, whatever, is what you need to say right now. You know what I mean? So, but I'm glad I figured out how to play it for you guys, because that's really what I wanted to share, because I just worked like 25 hours on it this week trying to figure out
We
how
have
to.
to you had to figure out the software to record,
I
right?
don't know. That's what I've been doing the podcast for 6 months. But what I had to do was remember how to learn an instrument, because I pretty much taught myself. I play around on it sometimes, but I have that little balafon, the thing that's the little
Like the
it's a bunch of
marimba.
wooden strings. Yeah, but it's made of wood, and
Mm.
it doesn't have, the notes are not that specific. So I had to figure out how to work with that. And then I forgot, oh gosh, if you write specific notes in a certain order, and there were a lot of them in that, you have to remember them if you want to play it well. So I had to like remember how to do, you know, music again, because I don't do it all the time. But I'm trying to bring music back into my life. I mean, I've been going to shows for the first time in years, and I'm like connecting with all these people I used to know because they still go to shows, and I'm like, well, what the fuck is wrong with me? Well, nothing, but I'm going, it's like I need a music and community in my life. So anyway. And I'll shut up for the moment, but I do have, before we sign off, I do have one announcement, or I could do it now.
Um, I would like your announcement to be shared about Stelina. I'd love for you to
Yeah.
talk about the sound experimental sound community you're a part of, Stelina, because I know you performed with them in Houston.
Oh,
That'd be groovy to hear about.
did I just embarrass myself?
No, that
No.
was beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
But there's a group called Nameless Sound,
Hmm.
which was started by a man named David Dove, who was one of Paulino Oliveros's mentees. So Paulino Oliveros was a Chicana composer.
I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So she developed this method called deep listening,
Hmm.
and so it's improvisation. You're not supposed to plan ahead of time. You're supposed to respond to whatever the other person says, and I mean what the other person sounds like. And so as a musician, instead of rehearsing, you just improvise the whole time, responding to each other's sounds. And so I went, so when she was in town, I went to her workshop. This was before she died, um and so I was invited, because of that, I was invited to participate, just reading my poetry while somebody else does vocal sounds. And then that went really well. And so then it went from that duo to like seeing what it would be like in a group, to doing mostly group stuff. And there's this one particular vocalist. She and I have, her name is her name is Yvette Roman Roberto. She's a Puerto Riqueña, and she's a really great vocalist, and she does these percussive sounds. And so it's just really interesting because it gives rhythm to my work, but also it makes me read differently. Like I can't read uh, just straight. I do a lot of pauses.
Oh, no,
Um,
I know you mean like reading the music that someone improvising music completely changes how you read.
yes.
And it's scary sometimes, but if it's when it hits, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And so for my book launch, the David Dubb didn't want to do an English Sound event, but he said, you're part of the community. Why don't you see if people will perform with you? I think they will. And they said yes. And so I was able to do my launch with them, and with a group of, I don't remember how many of us there were. I think there were five of us. Uh, but yeah, it was nice because, yeah, no, because it was two vocalists and two people on instruments. So there was one on the trumpet and one on the double bass.
Is there footage of that anywhere? Did
I
anybody film any of
Somebody
that?
did record from Nuestra Palabra, but I
Uh-huh.
don't know what they're doing with the
Just
recording.
curious. Yeah.
But Nuestra Palabra has it. Tammy knows Tony Diaz and Nuestra Palabra folks.
Nice to be able to get stuff like that.
I
Yeah,
just
but
wanted
they
to
recorded it.
Yeah.
make sure that
Uh,
that bridge was made, because it's hard to know when we don't know everything about our trajectory of performance and creative production, like what each other know. Uh, yeah. So
no,
Pauline
I was hoping
Oliveros,
maybe there,
many of us know, and
yeah, but I was hoping there'd be like a few things like, oh, I don't know, on your Facebook page or some kind of Insta page or some kind of social media of yours, since we're not connected there, but you could always look, I could always look or whatever and see things because I love seeing things like that. No, going out to the shows. I'm sorry, I'm almost tangenting. Should I
well, I just want to say,
or-
just feel free to share out any of these links, or later on, some YouTube links or whatever on the Recordando, the Dando Poets channel. You could drop it there. Hey, Stelina, here's what I found you might be
Mhm.
interested in. So y'all can, if you want, that you could
No,
communicate
no, I actually
there.
have a YouTube video up because I run into, like, I went to see a band, then I went and it's actually on one of my podcasts, so I'm not going to go into the story, but I ended up going to see a bunch of different stuff, and I run into these musicians in a band I didn't know were playing, like that I used to play with in the '80s or share stage with, and I'm like, oh my God, you guys are still doing amazing stuff, and blah blah blah, and that led me to go to a one-off show that was improv like a couple weeks ago at this little, I'd never even been there, this little like theater in downtown Oakland. And it was all improv, and it was eight musicians who didn't know what they were going to do. And it was like two reeds, two guitarists, two vocalists, keyboards, drums, bass, and someone directing them who, all he did was have cards with chord charts. Someone else invented this, but no one knew it was going to happen. And every so often he'd get up and he'd show a piece of paper around to the musicians and then direct them to switch into another chord chart or key. But in the middle of them all is an overhead projector, and my friend, this poet, Malshine Wynn, is sitting there at the overhead projector, and as they're playing behind her, she's writing furiously, so it was projecting overhead. You could watch the words coming out of her in
Ooh,
response to the music,
I love
and
that.
and as she's doing it, two of the people are singing the words as she's writing them, and it's like it just like,
Yes, yes, yes.
and
Spin
went
off
on.
and spin off.
They
Mm.
had 2 hours of it, and it was like 2 hour, episodes. It was just mind blowing. Like everyone levitated out of the theater. Yeah.
I love writing to live performances of jazz. I used to do
Oh,
it
me too.
in Austin,
Yeah.
in Fort Worth in the 80s, like 87. I used to take my little electronic typewriter to this place called The Hop when this kind of experimental jazz band called Brother Smiles would play. I'd plug it in at my booth and I would type on my electronic typewriter, just like riffing and not even, and a lot of times I would not even look at the paper, of course, just riffing
Yeah. Yeah.
on what I say it's like
I love that.
being a court reporter for the
Yeah.
proceedings, and I don't even know
I
what
sit
I'm
with a
hearing.
pad and scribble at jazz, especially, but other non like music without words, especially, or classical concerts. And I actually have a little chapbook of Paul, I call them ekphrastics, really, because I'm responding to music.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I have a little chapbooks of the better pieces, but it's not published. I just have a collection, I guess. But that show I saw, I I could not help myself, and I don't always do this, but about 5 different times I threw my phone up in the air and I took about a half a minute or a minute of just what all the sounds and the words were and the singing and all that stuff. And then I put them all together into one 3 minute piece that I put on my YouTube channel, and put up sort of for the musicians to see moments of what they did. And I have it on my Facebook page too. But so maybe I'll throw that on the record on the Dondo
I'd love
Facebook
to
site.
see that.
Yeah,
I want to remember how revved up we are in this part of the conversation tonight, and that I'm making a note that we like this conversation at least, and maybe we can collectively um suggest some ways we can recreate some moments like that here in future episodes together.
mhm. I had coffee.
I'm enjoying this and I promised myself I would try to drink some rum. So I'm gonna go get that. Do we want to take like a 5 minute break or should I just go get it and come right back?
I think a break would be good.
I
Let's
could
come
use a brief
back.
bio break.
Yeah, like five
I'm
minutes.
going to
Just
have to bow out.
oh,
You do, Lorraine?
Hey, it's I'm an hour ahead of you all.
I know.
oh, okay,
So
okay. Got
You're an
it.
hour ahead of those guys. You're like 3 hours ahead of me.
yeah,
Hmm.
right.
Well,
So thank you,
super.
Tammy, for creating the space, and thank you
Of
all for your
course.
work.
Always glad to have you with us, and
Always.
thank you for sharing what you shared. Do you want to say a few more words or offer something else before you depart?
I could um share one more poem if you'd like.
Sure, and then
Please.
we'll do the bio break for sure. Go ahead. Thank
Um,
you.
we're at New Year's. Dance for a New Year. The near midnight streets are littered with the frenzied sails of this day. Someone sweeps them into large piles and sets them ablaze. On one corner, a family sits drinking to music, and the man in the bright pink wig dances. On corners and midways down blocks, the merry widows of this dying year stop cars for coins, dancing, lying atop hoods, and the man in the bright pink wig dances. On stages decked with eucalyptus, old man years slump in plastic chairs. A DJ spins, a young woman sings, and the man in the bright pink wig dances with abandon. The midnight hour, the old men are dragged to the center of those cobblestone streets, gasoline poured and set afire, and the man in the bright pink wig dances with frenzy. As far as the streets climb steeply up, the fires blaze, fireworks explode, and the man in the bright pink wig frantically dances to forget he cannot go home to his war-rent country. His family cannot get out. His uncle dies of poisoned water, a wife to be found, a family to be formed. Heavy smoke fills the narrowed streets, stinging eyes, burning lungs, creeping past shuttered shops, creeping past the migrant indigenous families come to the city for work, round dancing to Andean cumbia, and the man in the bright pink wig dances, dances.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you for taking us there. I was
Mhm.
there with the pink wig man dancing. Thank you. Have a
Thank
great
Lor-
night, Lorraine. See you in
Happy New Year, Will.
2025.
Oh, are you
Thank
gone,
you, Nina.
Lorraine?
Yes?
I made a comment on your earlier poem, except that I didn't realize my audio was off because I was trying not to cough with you all. And before we were talking about all the sound and everything, that's how that poem struck me. And actually, this one did too, as a very, it was a poem I heard, I think, because I love the, whatchamacallit, the music so much of the, see, I'm gonna cough. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that because I thought I had, and then I realized, oh, the audio's off. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Pamela. May you all have a good evening. Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
Same
Yes.
to you, Lorraine. Be
Peace.
safe and hope the electric grid powers up for you and all your people around you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A very,
Thanks.
a very good whatever you need, Lorraine.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Take care, all.
We'll see you and we'll hear you soon. And we shall begin our break. See you in 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, now we were going to resume the last segment of our Recordando session for this month, December 2024. My name is Tammy Gomez, and I'm so glad that you're here. And we will have some more minutes together in the session. And I was just asked a question: when did my tinnitus begin? That's a great way to uh, resume the
I
session.
still call it tinnitus. Yeah.
It's
Go ahead.
it was in the summer of 2020. It was probably in July of 2020. My ear ringing began. Yes.
Mine started in November of 2020, and it's really freaking loud. No.
It comes and
I
goes for me. It depends on stress level and it depends on what else is happening in terms of sound around me. Certainly when I was at the Molten Plains show last Saturday, a week ago tonight, and that was all improvised um, sets. There were 7 groupings of musicians and they had never rehearsed. And some of them were from Brooklyn and some were from um, Austin. I think there was one person from Houston actually. Yes, one person from Houston was up here for that. But yeah, I couldn't hear my ear ringing then, of course, because
It's not supposed to
I
be caused by external stimuli in any way, though. It's all internal. I mean, you can get an ear ringing from being around too much loud music, but it's not tinnitus. It's a different thing.
Mhm.
I mean, they don't really help each other, though. They might help each other.
No, what I mean is
Not
like
you.
being at a show drowns out my
Oh,
experience
yeah.
of my ear ringing.
Hmm.
Tell us more about that show last Saturday.
tell you more. Well, there was a person who resembled Pauline Oliveira, so that was very touching. Because I just felt like, oh, she's back. She's here with us. And of course, it wasn't her. It was someone else playing um, their instrument. Um, and there were a lot of prepared instruments, which I really love seeing, like prepared guitar. Someone plays like Sarah Ruth Alexander lives in up here in North Texas. She's actually one of the co-producers of Molten Plains Festival. She has a prepared skateboard. It's like a part of a electric guitar attached or bolted to a skateboard. Uh, and then there's another person who's also based up here, whose name Rachel Weaver. They do a lot of field recording and include they do they're a naturalist and do a lot of eco justice work, and so they record bird sounds and sounds of running water, like brooks and rivers and such, and they include that in their work, and they use a lot of electronic electroacoustic stuff. And I just love that it's improvised and everybody's kind of like you know at their lab in unison with one another, and that's so beautiful to watch. The listening, the intentional listening that's happening, deep listening while they're on stage together is really charming, and it shows like love of the practice and love of their instruments and their tools of production. And the community is kind of friend. It's intersects with like the punk and the kind of the what is not a punk, the like garage metal, death metal sound,
Noise
noise,
music and
yeah,
stuff.
all
Yeah.
of that, yeah, and even some classical, and so it brings out a lot, people in,
Mhm.
just a lot of freaks and punks and geeks and the outliers, and so it's a cool scene, and I like knowing them, and my 16-year-old nephew has attended about 3 of their events, and he's like a true fan, and I love that he's developing an ear for this kind of expression musically.
That's cool. I wish I could have heard some. Yeah,
Oh, and
I
on
was,
that note, I want to say about my nephew, for his holiday gift, I have bought us tickets to go see Kraftwerk next year
oh dear God.
in Dallas. Yeah. Don't tell him.
I'm calling him right now.
Do y'all, I
Mhm.
don't know if any of you like or appreciate Kraftwerk, but
No,
I'm
no.
excited. He knows who they are too, which is like mind blowing. The kid knows so much. Like,
This is great. I have a couple times this last year since I'm not watching TV at home or anything like that, and I will scroll Instagram and shit like that sometimes without even realizing it. And I'm chastising myself for that. I have the little vlog and no, but I've a couple times come across footage from the first Kraftwerk concert, which somebody documented with black and white video.
ooh,
Of if you probably can find it on YouTube, and I think there's a couple different segments of it. What's amazing is you can hear their electronic shit going on as very early. But what's amazing is it's a very, very crowded room, and the expressions on people's faces, which are very varied, from like horror to complete like open mouthed gaping, astoundment. Yeah, it's kind of that's the best part of watching it, besides hearing the sounds they were making, like first live concert, and all these people
What
going
year
70s, I don't remember, early 70s
wow.
maybe.
I
is
have
it?
to look for that.
I think it's seven. Yeah, I mean, just if you look on YouTube, I'm sure you find some, like first Kraftwerk show probably would bring it up, and you're like, people are like, you
As
know,
I like to look
yeah,
agape
no,
anytime
no,
I hear music. I mean, what's the point otherwise, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'd like to read a poem. that's a bit straightforward, but it's one piece I've dared to write about my 2.5 years working for MHMR, managing a 3/4 way house for chronically mentally ill adults.
Oh,
That's my intro. And here's the poem. Poem 334 of 365. Pops paces casually through the kitchen, sipping from an opened cold can of sauerkraut. Rose has just issued a complaint, which is forwarded to me by another client, and I'm not sure how to respond, what action to take. Pops is doing Sig Heil again. I'm not sure if he's a Nazi sympathizer for real or if he's temporarily homeland sentimental for distasteful German foods and fascist regimes.
hmm. Would he actually be saying that? Or was that someone's expression for his?
No, apparently he did say that. He was stick
Yeah,
hailing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think he had a German background. I mean, I heard all
Nothing
kinds
wrong
of
with
things
sauerkraut.
But sipping it from the can, I
from the
don't know.
can. Yeah, that part I did witness. Yeah.
I mean, most sauerkraut in a can is not really top of the line.
I'm not saying. I'm just. But
I'm sorry.
it was just.
I, it might cure your cold, though.
Ah, that's sort of probably what I was thinking. I had hot and sour soup yesterday.
I
That was.
once cured a thing like you're having with incredibly hot green curry and tofu sort of veggie stuff,
Mm.
and it
Mhm.
actually went away. Yeah,
Oh, we might have Thai food tomorrow. So yes, thank you for reminding me of such good stuff.
green curry is
Um,
the
but
best.
Pops was kind of a sour and crotchety. He had that kind of a personality, so maybe he liked things that tasted kind of sour. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Hmm.
want to challenge myself to write more about the folks that I worked with, and of course changing their names. I'm not out to
Mhm.
out people, but I was only 22 or 23 when I started that job, and
Mhm.
it freaked me out so much. Some of the things I witnessed, some of the behaviors and the ways decisions were made by some of the clients that I stopped drinking or doing anything recreational. I just went stone cold sober because I was like, I must protect this. I must protect this. So it was a very deep and kind of eye-opening experience. And yeah,
And what was the institution exactly that you were working at?
Tarrant County Mental Health Mental Retardation Services. And I was managing they say 3/4 way house because they were more dependent than folks who would be in a halfway house. These clients had just been released from the state hospital
I gotcha.
and they were all on medication and they were on, yeah, therapeutic meds. And that was a requirement of them to reside. That was a requirement for them to reside in our home.
Mm-hmm.
And I quit after 2.5 years because I saw how those meds were used to chemically straitjacket these folks, and it was just easier to manage them
Mm-hmm.
if they were on meds that kept them um languid and quiet, and that really
They've got
bugged me a lot, to say the
yeah.
least.
There.
Texas still has a problem in the foster care system with that.
Ugh, yeah.
I
Thank you,
looked
Richard.
up the
Thanks for the link.
yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah. I think there's if you Google first Kraftwerk show, you'll get more than that. But
Okay. Okay.
that's yeah.
I even have a cassette somewhere. So that would be
Oh, I want to share a call for submissions. Is this a good time to do that?
Sure, because then I'll share one too.
Okay, great. Let's see, where do I do that? Why am I having a hard time finding these? Oh yeah.
Is this the one that
It's two.
Lorraine did? That Lorraine already put on your website?
I don't think so. It's one that I haven't. I don't think anybody I know has posted about this yet. It's for About Place Journal, and I'm super very excited about this call. There it goes. It's about collaboration, and they're giving preferential consideration, the editors are, to collaborative submissions. Here it is, that line.
Mhm.
Where's my thing? Submissions from collaborative partners or groups will be prioritized over those of individuals. I love the call. It's just, I just love how they explained their intention with this. And the deadline to submit, here's one of the editors, and here's the other editor, and an assistant or two. And this, let's see, can include poetry, fiction, audiovisual, photographs, paintings, video essay. You can submit up to 5 pieces and do, let's see, you can start sending in January
Can you put
1st,
the link in the thingy?
for sure. And the deadline's usually about 2 or 3 months after January 1st, but I don't remember. I can't see the deadline here. Sorry, I'm scrolling so fast. Don't get dizzy. Oh, here it is. March 10th.
So 2.5 months.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a brand new piece if you have something already in mind that you've already created. Um, yeah, you could submit that.
What if you have to collaborate with humans?
Haha. Yeah, I'm excited to see what
Will you
work
share
comes
the
in for
link
that.
in the chat?
Yeah, I'll do that right this second. And Richard, you had a call to share?
Yeah. Well, I don't think because I missed last month. As I think, was I here last month? We didn't have last month. It doesn't matter. I don't think I mentioned this on Recordando. A couple of you might have seen this on my Facebook because I've been blabbing about it. But I had this idea, I don't know, a month ago or something, month and a half ago, and it somehow I decided to follow through on it. And that is, um, the call is from me, and if you find yourself in need of a new pledge of allegiance to something you really feel allegiance to, then write it and send it. Here, let me put this in the chat. I have something to post in there too. Um, Send it to I need a new pledge at gmail.com. And I'm just going to make a plain text web page called I need a new pledge.com. I actually already got the URL. I'm just figuring out how to make the simplest imaginable just text page with the font I want. But I'll just, unless people send offensive stuff, which no one has, I think I have about a dozen or 15 so far. I'm just going to post new pledges of allegiance. Um, you know, yeah, I've been also feeling that, if I may venture into the darkness for a moment, that I don't want to be sitting home alone and miserable slash freaked out on January 20th, which is a Monday. And so I think I might try to put together a gathering in Berkeley or something, a space where poets and artists can just be and do their thing. But I think I just wanted to mention that because it might not be a bad idea for people. Like I mentioned it on, I don't know, like the Collapsed Press reading, and like six different people were like, "Oh, I'm going to do that," but it's just an idea that on that day maybe we want to be together, like I said in my little song. And just that's just a thought. And then because we were talking about so January 20th, gatherings, um, but because um, I'm going to share screen for a second, because we're talking about sounds. This is the instrument that I was playing. Um, uh,
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
and in that piece, but I've had this for a while, so it was given to me, and underneath, it's a little hard to see in this angle, but it's just gourds that are tied underneath the slats. And it does make beautiful sounds. A couple of the slats are a little duller sounding than others, but it's not like I didn't try to gauge it, but I don't think it's like a specific, they're not exactly specific notes. So, you're playing approximate notes, approximate sounds. Um, and I think that was what was a joy about making that. And also one of the hard things was, trying to figure out how to work with approximate sounds. I just thought it was beautiful. And I actually scored that whole thing, but I scored it by these numbers, like whether I was hitting one or hitting one of them with both mallets or hitting, some of them would say 6-4. And I realized only afterwards, these bigger ones make the lower sounds, the more bass sounds, and these make the higher sounds. And I always play it like opposite of a piano for some reason, where I always have the bass sounds on the right. And I actually
Mm-hmm.
numbered it right to left. And I don't know why I did that. And I'm not concerned, but I just, I just wanted to share the image because I'm glad I took a picture of it because this is actually the setup I had when I was recording on my laptop over there. I'm going to close it now.
I
I
love
just,
that there's no metal on it. I like that
there's
very
none at all.
much.
It's string
And
and
wood.
leather. Well, maybe leather
Oh,
strips, some kind of straps down here that are not string. Yeah, there's nothing. It's nothing but almost entirely wood and half gourds underneath.
You know where it's from?
Huh?
Do you know where it was made?
No, I do not know where this was made. I know it's called a balafon, Balafon, but no, it was in a friend's warehouse, big, really big, like music and art warehouse that got shut down by San Francisco, so that somebody could build, tech condos, and he had
Hmm.
so many things, and so. At one point he was getting rid of lots of stuff, and I went over and I got a couple of unusual instruments. Um,
so one
anyway.
of the musicians here, Stefan Gonzalez, he is a drummer
Mhm.
and he's been playing bateria, like a drum set for like death metal, heavy metal, and then bands. And then he was in a jazz band with his dad who played trumpet. His dad's Dennis Gonzalez, and very well known in Texas and beyond. So Stefan now plays marimba
Mhm.
for a kind of improvisational jazz band, and it's so awesome to see him attack the uh the marimba. Or is that what it is? What's the other word for it? Marimba. It's not xylophone.
There's one that's something there's a couple that are really close to marimbas. I can't, yeah.
He has so he has performed in
He
Houston,
has,
and
yeah.
he has a machine that it's called. You're right. It's not a marimba. It's I asked somebody about it because it's not it's got like underneath it's different. It's not the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, I can't I knew it yesterday and I can't think of it right now, but and his brother plays upright bass, Aaron. And sometimes Aaron also travels to Houston for shows. Um, but the way that he attacks that, I mean, he always wears like this, the cut off, no sleeves t-shirt and his tattoos showing, and he just attacks with such ferocity. I just love it. Just the juxtaposition of, the way he's so big and muscled and hitting this kind of delicate instrument is really appealing to me. Um,
Sorry. Kind of a feeling to me too.
I, I just want to get confirmation that your pledge submissions deadline is January. Is that a hard January
No.
1st?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
I just wanted to get people to send some, and
Okay.
they've been, like I say, I have about 12 or 15 sitting in an email box right now. And the only thing I said was, and it does say in here, but say where you live and whether I should put your name or anonymous. I like the idea of it saying different places around the country, though, or different, if unless for some reason you really don't even want to reveal that, but it'd just be nice to see different states and different whatever, if in fact people dig the idea. But I'll put it up as close to the 1st of January as I can, and let people know. And then at the top it'll just say send more if you want, and I'll post them unless they're obnoxious or something. Um, and some of them, a lot, not all, some are politics, some are about art, pledging allegiance to art or creativity. There's a couple of silly ones, which is fine. I don't know if they're as heartfelt, but they're lighthearted. So in a way that's, yeah.
We could use some of that lightheartedness.
Oh, geez, no kidding.
Um, I would like to share my screen again to show you a Tumblr that I put together the first time that Trump was elected. And I think I never thought I'd have to maybe consider bringing this up again, bringing it out again, but I might be asking people to submit designs for Melania's inaugural gown for our Tumblr. So this is the project here. Draw Melania's dress. So we basically put together a template, which is, you can see this little design right here. And we invited people to download it and color it, draw it, write on it, and then submit it to us by email, I think was how we asked. And then I scanned them and put them on the Tumblr. Because as I learned in 2016, there were some fashion designers who were refusing to design her gown.
Of course.
Of course, and that'll happen again, I'm assuming. And so why not crowdsource the designs? And I'll just scroll quickly to show some things people wrote and sent. Let me choose. Yeah. And we even spent one afternoon at a laundromat, lavanderia, with crayons and pencils and invited people there who are mostly females in those laundromats to, while they're waiting for their clothes to be washed or dried, to color in some of these. Oh gosh. Okay. Bye-bye. Color sheets that we made.
I remember that now. That's great.
I love that we're percolating ideas for
Yeah,
how
I
to
want to
stay
make one
active.
that's like just dead fish tangled in plastic nets.
Ugh. And smells like it.
Well, they would be real,
Oh,
real.
they would be real. Yeah, okay. Um, Stelina, anyone else have another poem to read? Kamala, something you'd like to?
I want to read a poem that's newer.
Sure.
Um,
Go ahead.
because you were talking about grief earlier, and my most recent work is about grief too. It started as poems about my mom, but later I started writing about other people. I I have two I can read from. I don't know if I should read the shorter one or the longer one. Maybe the shorter one since it's kind of late. And this one's called "With My Heels Stuck in a Mexican Cobblestone," July 4th, 2009. I have to take off my glasses, sorry. After the emotive cancer I translated in your city, you treated me to gorditas de maíz azul, and we ate candied fruit. We went to the bar to hang out with the writer, but she just kissed the bald man the entire time. We drank our chelas, and you walked me to my lodging. After the trip, you answered my late night calls when I waited parked in my car, translated your poem about narco violence, and you translated my bio and said I was Mexicana de entidad chicana, which solidified my liquid brain. Cotorreamos again on a visit to see the poet. After your passing, I logged in only to notice too late you had requested to video chat.
Mm.
But and they come with images. Let me take. Oh, I think yeah. No, I need to take the blurring off.
I love your robe, by the way.
Oh,
Nice
thank
and
you.
fluffy.
But
It does.
I've been drawing pictures of the people I write about.
Oh.
They're interpretive drawings. They don't look they're not realistic in terms of what they really look like, but they remind me of them somehow.
He's so happy there.
Yeah.
Will you please read the other one? I'd love
Yeah.
to hear the other.
So the other one has this image.
Hmm.
And here is the poem. It's called I Never Heard You Ask Why Me, December 19, 2021. We sat side by side with words spilling on our heads, like how my bisabuelita threatened, cómetelo o te lo echo en la cabeza. As we were critiqued, the viscosity thickened so sticky prose spluttered when we sought couplets. I wanted to quit school and scrub potatoes for a living until I saw defending you worthwhile. You were my first survival, amigo, a bard in your own right. On the bus after we left, he was coming on to you, you said as we rode. A writer que vino con vino. When I mentioned my hunger, me daba miedo estar cruda. I feared regrets. Lo rechacé. We stopped, ate. You had beef tacos, and I fish. I savored flan, tastier. When I asked the server, they replied, lo compramos de una señora cada mañana. Funny, the cooks did not cook. Dessert. Later you abandoned meat, but true camaraderie rendered us unblinking. I still use the 1980s party background you sent, pink, black, and white. Somber, el contraste, I can no longer party. Mourning you, shifted time. Though mom underscored, en nuestra cultura, people party with their dead. I once asked you, how did you handle the emotion of melanoma? You responded, Las Vegas, for we thought it was in situ. Later, metastasized meant escapism was poetry. You took Avastin, like mom. And after the hair loss, I am left with loss. Still, I thank.
Mm.
Ooh.
What
Now
great
we're there.
honoring. Love it. Great honoring.
Thank you.
Now we're there.
So this is part of a new series? Is that
Yeah, I'm calling it Orchestra No Instruments or Why I Mourn.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that
Oh,
with us. Ooh, I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
lucky.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I need to stay in shadow to do that kind of work too. And I think it makes me sad when I don't stay enough in shadow. Um, I have a friend who's experiencing panic disorder or panic moments, panic episodes. It's new for that person. And I find myself wanting to tell them they need to lean in to the sadness and cry for
But
the child there that needs comforting.
but do they know why they're having panic?
No, but
Okay.
they had a recent serious medical emergency a few months ago. So I think a lot of things are coming into high relief, but maybe they're not seeing them. They're there, but they still, it's like seeing, oof,
Can't always tell. Yeah,
you
I
can't
had a
always,
very
it's
bad
cloudy. Yeah.
I had a very bad condition with it about 15 years ago. That went on for about a year or so. And I would have them while driving and would feel like I was blacking out. And it happened most frequently when I drove across bridges, of which there are many in the San
Oh,
Francisco Bay Area. And, it was like where I couldn't pull over or get off. So um, the last thing the person should do is think about when you're having it is thinking about it. I had my friend Sarah would let me call her when I was approaching a bridge, and we would talk about something else entirely.
mhm.
And that's actually a big help. I ended up inventing a magic ritual that eventually made it go away, of sorts. Uh,
Mm.
true. Um, but it really and strangely manufactured, much like the panic, by my mind. But yeah, I was about to go up on the Bay Bridge, which is 7 miles long, um, with a tunnel in the middle. This one day, and that's when they were doing all kinds of work on the bridges, and they were making a new bridge, whatever the case. And there was a sign saying that the Bay Bridge would be shut down for a couple days or something, which was a big deal with the dates. This just whatever road sign saying can't Bay Bridge shut down these 3 days or whatever, a month from now. Anyway, I was driving up onto the bridge and I thought, oh, they must need to clear the ghosts off. And then I thought, why did I think that? But I mean, if you think of ghosts as, you know, leftovers from people who have passed, many people have died on the Bay Bridge or, over the years. It's very old. And then I laughed kind of, but then I was like, oh, I bet that's what's happening to me when I drive on a bridge. The ghosts get in my car and they freak me out. That's it. And so I did this whole ritual where I cleaned my car and I cleaned the inside and the outside. And I went shopping one day to find a small bell that would fit right on my dashboard. I think it still had an ashtray, but little thing. I just, I found I brought a string of bells and I took the tiniest one off and I put this little brass bell in my car. And every time I'd go on a bridge, I would ring the bell 3 times and that would scare the ghosts away. And I didn't have the panics anymore because who knows? Because I didn't know why I had them in the first place, but they were bad. And,
Wow.
it took me a while. I'm relaying that in case it's abuse, I guess. But, the most
Yeah,
helpful thing
thank you.
anyone did was allow me to call them. And it's not like you need to say, call me when you're having a panic attack, but you could relate to the person. If you have a couple people you can call when it's happening who will talk to you about, making salad
Hmm.
or whatever, then and not mention it whatsoever. It's actually a really good strategy. Uh,
Mhm.
mhm,
Thank you for that.
mhm.
I'd like to share one more. Um, it's based on a dream that I had this morning.
Can you move your microphone up?
Oh yeah. Sorry. This is my rendering, my impression of a dream that I had this morning. The final thing I dreamt before waking. And it put me in a nice mood. So lucky me. Okay. Looking through oh yeah, why not share this so you could read along? I'm feeling very sherry tonight. Looking through the viewfinder glass of the smallest handheld camera for a concert, and I was 2 seats from Bill Daniel in a trio together with bearded somebody half cowboy between us. My shot was impressive even to me, but maybe Bill too. The duet on the stage, like an ACL live set, and my eye managed to thread together the singer with open mouth and a glimpse of the teeth of the next musician inside of that. Should I do more? Have cow body pleased and to be billed next? Oh, the risk of rejection. On to the staged show, and I am in the middle section, and time to cry aloud as section left or section middle or the other side, each gets a direction. We are to yell, celebrate! And the group to the right, so ready to cheer and jeer, were instructed to remain silent. It came right from the top, and I was silently pleased, but also loudly celebrational, on cue. And what about the boys rolling up to Mama's yard, all hard muscled with age or body training, but nonetheless like a bike gang along the road? Even Paul S. on the semi body of a scooter soapbox four-wheeler, all low-riding and self-inclusive. Good on him. How nice to see him join.
Hmm.
That was sweet.
It felt sweet. I'm so busy and active in my dreams. I'm loving it. Um, yeah, it's just wholesome, very wholesome.
At this time of year is I was talking to my qigong friend on Zoom, and uh, I was talking about how I was lethargic. I was having a hard time keeping up with my usual reading and everything, and said, "Well, of course, this time of year you naturally want to hibernate. And what do you do when you hibernate? You sleep and dream. So this is the time to focus on your dreams. So make sure that you write your dreams and you reflect on your dreams and think about dreaming, and that's what we're supposed to be doing this time of year." So I've been doing the same.
Do you hold pleasure in your dreams?
Yeah, I very seldom have non-pleasurable dreams.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I still occasionally get uh, my anxiety dreams are restaurant server anxiety dreams, and I've learned to enter into it and say, this is a dream. You don't have to take, drink order from 15 top and put it into a computer that you don't know how to use. Um, you can just walk away.
You can turn over.
Yeah. But remember what you were dreaming so you can write about it later.
Yeah. I rarely remember. I dream all the time. I rarely remember. I don't
Well,
often tell.
I've told this group the key to doing your dreams, and that's to practice at night, like this time of night, say, early for you, is go back over your day in reverse. Start, okay, what was I doing right before I started this Zoom call? What was I doing right before that? What was I doing right before that? What was I doing right before that? And by practicing it, when you're waking up in the morning, you say, okay, what am I dreaming? And then what was I dreaming right before that? And what was I dreaming right before that? And what
Oh, I
was I
never heard
dreaming
that.
right before that?
That's brilliant.
I do the
That's
same
how,
thing. I have to. Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't
And
know
they
it.
and they unfurl
right.
gradually if you're lucky. Also, I found that if I can approximate the physical position of my body when I had the dream, that the memory can come back instead of being like vague and amorphous. It tends to solidify. So I remember being in bed when I just awoken from a dream, but I couldn't remember. Just I'd roll around on the bed, like, okay, was it this way? Oh, there it is, there it is. Oh, like adjusting the rabbit ear antennas, like getting like, oh, there it is. Oh, okay, stay there. Close your eyes. Think about nothing, and then it would start to come back. Um, yeah. Beautiful night tonight with you folks. Thank you for being here and staying extra long. I needed it, so I'm glad that you stayed this long with me, with us, for us, and Kitty Cat. Oh, oh, and Kamala's Kitty Cat. So many kitty cat. It's kitty cat time. Yeah. We'll be I'd like to continue the series into the next year, and I'm more and more thinking about how to do a refresh on the series. I have some thoughts and ideas, but welcome any that you might want to share. Um, oh, and because we mentioned marimbas so frequently tonight, I want to recommend this film, Marimbas del Infierno. It's great. Yeah.
The third Saturday of January is the Saturday right before the
Doomsday. Oh,
inauguration.
sorry.
Say that part again. We what?
Doomsday before it's
Oh,
the
that's right.
it's the
Yeah.
18th, which and the 20th is the inauguration of
Of that
as my
person. Yes.
friend
So
Cheeto.
Cheeto. Okay. So our the next Recordando is scheduled 2 days before that date.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
Oh,
2 days
oh,
before the
oh.
end of America. Um,
right.
I have I'm not so sure it's an honor to read the day after the
Inaug
coronation. Um, on a nice Zoom reading though, and I'll blast about it as it approaches. But I'm like, then I realized that it was the day after. It's like, oh my God, what am I going to read? And will anyone even feel like being on? Maybe everyone will feel like being on Zoom. Um, but I probably can't stick to just pretty things. Yeah, I don't know. Um,
Correct that I guess it would be the day before the Monday is Martin Luther King Day.
no, it is on Monday.
It
They're the
is,
same
yeah,
day.
they're the same day. Okay,
The
yeah,
most
right.
obscene thing
Let
ever.
the
Well,
irony
right. So,
begin.
I mean, I don't even know why we, pay any attention. It's like John Lewis the representative didn't go to the inauguration for 8 years ago, whatever, 16,
Hmm.
12, 8 years ago, because he didn't feel like it was a legit election, which we've forgotten all about suppression and everything. I mean, I don't feel it's that legit either. It's not in the way that Trump talks about, but I just think we need to think about all the King stuff that we don't always, you know, um, put into the. I mean, I'm talking from San Antonio, where we have one of the biggest marches in the world, usually for Martin Luther King, supposedly.
Hmm.
And I just think that we we can focus on that
Yeah, we can.
We can.
for the
And
day.
yeah, we'll talk more about what we want to do, what we feel like we want to take on. I'm willing to listen if anybody wants to share about that next month. And of course, reach out to me individually if you like, if you have any ideas or comments about this process here. I'm going to stop recording. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'll be hanging around for a few minutes if anybody wants to talk. And I've loved being with
I
y'all.
need to chat with you after everyone's gone about meeting on
Sure.
Tuesday or
Have a
Monday.
beautiful 9 more days of this year. However beautiful is defined by you, and sending you great love and joy and much prosperity in your creative making, because I know it gives you joy and it shows us who you are, and who you are is so important to us, to me, the world.